Hello, Mike House here. A few weeks ago, I came across this video that highlights the disparity between the haves and the have-nots. There were several young people, probably in their late teens, early 20s, that were lined up getting ready to race, and the winner would get $100. But before the race began, this moderator interjected and started posing several scenarios, such as take 2 steps forward if you had access to a private education while growing up. He also asked, well, take 2 steps forward if you grew up in a home with 2 parents. And by the time he finished with these various scenarios, those that came from that traditional family setting were much, much closer to the finish line, thus having a greater opportunity to get that $100. His point was they did absolutely nothing to get this advantage. They didn't earn it. They were born into it. And because of that, they're more than likely going to win in this thing called life. He also said if all things being equal, those with the advantage would probably lose to those that were still at the starting line. Now, I would have still been at the starting line or very, very close to it. But rather than get upset about my place, I've decided to do the best I can using my mind. You see, within the mind are all of the resources needed for successful living. Napoleon Hill says it this way: there are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Now, if you were not born into that traditional family setting, if greatness was not instilled in you, start affirming your greatness now. It's not too late. Eradicate that belief system of lack, poverty, scarcity, and all of those limitations that were passed down from generation to generation. Start instilling greatness within your children and your children's children so they'll have opportunities that you and those before you could only dream of having. It's possible. In fact, all things are possible to him that believes. But it begins with you. Now, I probably would have been close to the starting line, but my sons, you better believe that if they're ever placed in such situation, they'll be taking 2 steps forward so they'll have a head start to the finish line. Thanks for joining.